Today we will have a look at this small super zoom camera from 2010. It's a Fujifilm S2500HD. So let's talk about this. Welcome back to my channel today for a review of a very old super zoom camera, this Fujifilm S2500HD. It's a very small camera and very portable. I had it stuck on my backpack on a trip to Ararat in Turkey, and was sitting on a holder here on my backpack so I could pick it off and take images with it. But let's look at what this camera can do and what it isn't very good at doing. First of all, it's a 12 megapixel small sensor camera. The size of the sensor is up here. It has a pretty large screen, LCD screen, which is 3 inches, and it has a viewfinder with a very low resolution, I must say, but it's okay for my purpose. Some of the gripes about this camera is that if I boot it up, it takes a while. Now it's ready. So it takes like 3 seconds to get ready, and that's a long time. And then sometimes when I close it down, well, this time it did, but sometimes it doesn't really close down, so I have to do it twice. And it's a bit annoying if you're on a trekking trip like I was with this camera. But otherwise, the images that come out of this camera is usually pretty good, as you'll see in my examples. But there are situations where it's not very good. For instance, if you have direct sunlight into this lens, it flares quite a lot. And the sun also, due to very small dynamic range, the sunlight will be blocked out completely. So these are some of the things that doesn't work very well with it. The thing that does work very well, if I boot it up again, is the zoom speed, because going from I think it's 28mm to 504, something like that, it's 18 times zoom. It zooms in 2 seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds from widest to most telephoto. That's pretty good, so that is okay. It has image stabilization built in, so that's also a very nice thing. But the range of apertures is also lacking a bit, but it has a decent amount of apertures. It has a lever here to set or a ring to set the exposure mode, and the problem with that is that if you put it into a bag, this dial is turned very easily, so you actually might bump it while you put it into the bag or draw it out. And if you don't notice that, you might go from say you're at aperture priority mode, you might find that this suddenly has changed to program mode or manual mode or whatever, and suddenly your settings aren't correct. And if you take some images, snap some images quickly, then the settings might be totally off from what you expected. So that's not a good thing. But as you see, the images coming from it is pretty okay. Another thing that's quite remarkable on this camera is the macro mode. Normal macro mode goes into 10 centimeters from the lens, but if you use the super macro mode, you can photograph things that are only 2 centimeters from the lens. That is quite awesome for this camera. But now let's look at some more images from my trip to Mount Ararat in Turkey, a 5,137 meter high volcano in the eastern part of Turkey, close to the border to Iran. First part of the images is from an acclimatization trip up Mount Ararat, which is the 13th highest mountain in Turkey. So to sum up what I think of this camera, I found that the image quality was alright, and that is if you can live without RAW mode, because that it doesn't have it. It has a lot of shooting modes, that's nice, and the good long zoom range, that's also very good, and it moves fast from wide to tele. And of course one big thing about this camera is it's so small and very lightweight. Nice. But there are some downsides to this camera. The RAW mode, as I already mentioned, and the lens flaws that you saw some of, especially shooting against the sun, is not very good. It is a slow startup, and that's the major downside for my use of it. And also that it doesn't, or at least I haven't made it run on rechargeable batteries, so that's not very good. And video is not so good nowadays, only 720p, not full HD. So I hope you liked this short review of a very small, very compact super zoom camera with an 18 times zoom range and a decent image quality. There are things that are lacking in this. It has its flaws, but generally I liked shooting with it, and I think the images that came from it were pretty nice. I hope you liked my video, and please subscribe and like it so more can get to this video. Thank you very much for this time, and bye for now.